Alright, hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Okay, so two uh two laws that I super forbidden laws that I would go with in astrology. One, do not marry, befriend on a serious level. Befriend, be business partners with your South Node. That means the house, the house, the house, the house and the sign. So mine is Taurus, Libra. So my South Node's in Taurus. So the cosine and sign is Libra. And the 10th house. So that's ruled by Capricorn. Now you can say Saturn, meaning Saturn is ruled by Capricorn, co-ruled by Aquarius. I would not suggest you be friends with somebody who is in a who I would suggest you not marry your South Node, because you become who you lay with. I don't care how evolved they are. I don't care how, unless here's the only stickler to that. They have to have strong placements as well in your North Node. So let's say I married a Libra with a lot of Scorpio in her chart. That would be the only exception to the rule. But if she or I met a Taurus with a lot of Scorpio in her chart, that would be a hell of a combat. But that would be the only exception to the rule. But don't look for the exception and miss the rule. So, ew, what the fuck? Damn, this shit nasty as fuck. I'm drinking some tea. I thought they said put that shit in some cold water. I thought that shit was hot. I put that in hot, it wouldn't make a difference, but I put some milk in that bitch. What I would say is, I don't care how evolved they are. I don't care how disciplined they are. My principle is, they are not going in the same direction as you. So because they are not going in the same direction as you, chill. Learn the lesson that you can from them and keep it pushing. So when you're dating your South Node, like you marry a South Node, right? From my experience, from what I've seen with them, because you become who you lay with. Like, for instance, I was in a partnership with a Gemini whose North Node was in my sun sign. So I was like, yo, when I was telling her to get on it, she did some Gemini shit and deflected and said, oh, it was my fault and blah, 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 blah. And here's why I thought about it again. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. And said, oh, it's because you didn't bring it up again and blah, blah, blah. So, but I'm like, but if I called her again and I said, yo, but I'm bringing it up now. So whatever you think I forgot, I'm bringing it up again. So if I'm bringing it up again, what are you talking about? You get me? And because she's with a Libra, Libras are very much on the who, what, when, where, why. They're very much about not doing stuff according to their time, but doing stuff to to doing stuff that makes them feel comfortable. Doing stuff that makes them feel doing stuff to their mental comfort. I would say that, yeah. Not like Taurus as in physical comfort. Libras do to the best of their mental comfort. And as I think about it, every Libra that I've ever met, no cap, no bullshit, every Libra that I've ever met only takes my advice or does what I say if they feel mentally comfortable doing what I say. It don't even, I can make all the sense in the world, okay? But if they're mentally not comfortable with doing it, they ain't doing it. I could give them, and I say this because I've done it, I could give them the whole fucking blueprint. If their mind is not there, they ain't doing it. I don't give a fuck how sexy the plan sounds. I don't give a fuck. Yo, when I tell you, they don't give a fuck. If they're mentally not comfortable with it. And that's actually what she did. She told me right now, because people died in her corner at the time. She told me, I am not mentally comfortable proceeding right now. And she deflected to me and was like, oh, you didn't do this, that, and a third. And mind you, I don't have an email of what the book is, of what we were going to do with the book. And I told her even in depth about, because you know how, this is how I know it was something that was not in my favor. She, to tell you how ass backwards she was thinking, she bought a PDF for me to come to write an ebook or PDF with me, and saying I don't know how to market it. Make it make sense. So when I was making, this is why I say this is so important. This is why I say you become who you lay with. So as an Aries sun, Aries cusp sun, I was telling her, get on top of it now. And when she felt like that was a demand, she ran away. Libras do that. If they're not mentally comfortable doing something, they dodge you. Or they listen to you real good, okay? And then get off the phone and act like you never said nothing. Because mentally, they're not there. I'll give you another example. I was partnered with one of my favorite Libra men. He was a good guy. But when I was telling him some Aries shit, because his North Node was in Scorpio, I was telling him, yo, just transform, bro. Just go push through it. Whatever you're going through, make it the drive to while you're building your business. And he felt exhausted. But I said, everything you're doing as an independent consultant, you could be applying the wisdom with your team now. And I guess COVID kind of shut shit down a little bit. But before COVID, I was like, you could have pushed through and became massively successful and did other things. Just like with this marketing stuff. I can't quit this marketing stuff because it makes me feel uncomfortable. And I'm gonna go get a job because it's hard. Get what I mean? Like, a Libra would do that. No cap. And that's exactly what he did. Whatever he was going through, it was too much pressure, so he got a job. He stepped down, recollected himself, got a job. Is there something wrong with that? No. Would as an Aries as myself take that advice? Absolutely fucking not. I would tell the next person again, push through it. Because you're going to face this demon again. Somewhere. In business, as a consultant, you're going to face the same issue again. And that's, it's crazy. I wish, I don't know if I told him that, but I wish I would have said something like that along those lines. The reason why I hate the fact that he stepped down, because with this consulting business, he's going to face the same problem. He's going to face the same issue. You get what I mean? He's going to face the same issue. It's not even cute. He's not going to run. He's not going to get the this glorified, sexy he's not gonna get this sexy experience. He's not gonna do better. He's not gonna get a better offer. He's not gonna get an easier opportunity. He's not. And because you've hit all the goals with this business already, I'm like, just go do it again, and then do it somewhere else, right? So one of the reasons why I tell him, and this is why I said you have to be careful who you lay with, because based on those two examples, a Libra would do exactly what he did, because he was a Libra. And the crazy part about it is that from a Libra's perspective, that's not wrong. That's right. It's wrong for a Mars North Node, or a Mars child, that's wrong. But for a Venus child, that's absolutely correct. It's logical, it makes sense, and it's something that you can leverage, because it's still leverage. You can still come back and blah, 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 but you're starting at ground zero. You're starting at zero. You're starting at zero. Again. I mean, instead of, what's crazy? Instead of, yeah. It was from your perspective. For me, he's starting from ground zero again. He's not starting over. Some people would say he's starting over. I believe he went back to the bottom. Because of the Robert Kiyosaki chart, he went from self-employed to employed. He went to the bottom again. So that doesn't make sense to me. Right? Nothing wrong with it, but he went to the bottom for me. Doesn't make sense. And he'll end up regretting it. Right? But I say that to say, when you lay with your North Node, when you lay with your South Node, when you lay with your South Node, you become that. Period. You adopt their thoughts, their feelings, how they see life. You adopt their perspectives, some way, some shape, somehow. Because, like, for instance, when I rub elbows with Libras, I become more fair. I become more lenient. I become more diplomatic. And there is a time for that. Every sign in your life, every zodiac sign, there's a time for that. There's a time for all of that. There's a time for each sign to be a representative in your life. You don't throw a sign away because it's yourself. You feel me? But it's not a major part. Get what I mean? So, but and the second rule is don't be friends with people or relationship, whatever relationship, with a person who's going in the opposite direction of your north node. Meaning, let's say one is in Sagittarius, one is in, no, let me tell you about the one I recently seen. One was going in Aries, one was going in Libra, or first house, seventh house. So when you're in the seventh house relationship or north node, you will be in situations that require relationships. Like life will put you in a situation where you need other people, or it's better that, or I would say you need other people. It's better if you have other people. You would be, if you're an entrepreneur, you would be a partnerpreneur. Nothing wrong with that. As an Aries, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a partnerpreneur. I don't like waiting for others to partner with me and all that bullshit. It makes me mad. So, for me, I've realized when people have separate north nodes, opposite north nodes, life is teaching them different lessons. So if you don't communicate that, if you don't have a common goal, you'll be a common distraction. If you don't have when you have a south node that's going in opposite directions, you won't have a common goal. If you don't have a common goal where y'all build together, you'll be distractions for each other, or comforts for each other, right? And that could be a problem. Like, for instance, if your south node is in Libra, that person with their north node in Libra can drag you to think you need to partner with them. And you don't. You need to be by yourself. And the person with the Aries north node will remind you if you have Libra north node, Aries south node, you better off doing it by yourself. Doing it all by yourself. Right? And the problem with that is that you are not here. You are here to have a firm sense of self, but not to do it by yourself. And that can keep you stagnant if you really are not conscious of what's going on. I even saw Sagittarius and Gemini, where especially if the Sagittarius north node is younger, they are the teacher of the relationship. Now, Gemini is a teacher too, but Gemini is more of the socialite. They are more of the social scientist. So they teach in the midst of showing others as well. They teach while showing others. So it's not just a class, but it's more like they fuck with the group. They fuck with the people. You feel what I'm saying? They take their thoughts and their feelings and their emotions, and they experiment, for lack of better words. A Sagittarius, I'm not saying they don't experiment, but I would say they test it on themselves first. And when it works, they teach the class. They build an audience. The Gemini Not necessarily. The Gemini will be more like, I got this idea, and they go, not just communicate it, but exercise it with other people first, and then they validate it for themselves. Or because they're a Gemini, sometimes they do it at the same time. That be behoovering me, but that ain't my lane. I'm a life path 3, and my Aries is in the 9th house, so I don't do that bullshit. My brain don't operate that like that. Now, you know what's crazy? No, I'm lying. I'm dead ass lying. Because life has put me in a situation where I have to do that Gemini shit. Where I'm teaching myself and I'm helping you at the same time. I ain't gonna hold you. That's the hardest shit ever. You learn a lot, but the hardest shit ever is you're teaching yourself while you're helping somebody else. And on top of that, when you do that, sometimes within that Gemini shit, you are obligated to help somebody else because, like, you made this fucking commitment and shit, right? So because Gemini is the student of I would say the student of the relationship. So, or they're the student or the expert learner. You feel me saying? That became an expert based on what they learned, right? So if the Gemini is not like, and because the Gemini is here to be more, especially Gemini North Node, is more like to be more objective, and the Sagittarius is more subjective. You got to be careful if you're you're in a relationship with a Sagittarius. When you're in a relationship with a Sagittarius North Node and yours is in the South Node, because you're here to see things as fact. You're here to fact check. You're not here to. And I'm not saying Sagittarius don't get facts, but they get facts and they wrap their opinions and their feelings and their emotions and their philosophies around what they think. The Gemini be like, where did you get that from? Who told you that? You know, so because the Gemini is quick to say who told you that, first of all, that's not, unless they lying. When the Gemini is close to say most Geminis are like fact checkers. They really be like, who told you that shit? So what I would say again, my 2 forbidden rules are: do not deal with people who have the opposite North Node as you, or opposite sign North Node, and because it's very difficult to manage. And don't marry your South Node, because you're not going in that direction. It's still equals the same philosophy. You are not going in that direction. So even with the Libra that I like I want her to be my feminine coach, right? She has a purpose. And if you're dealing with your South Node, they have to have a purpose, or like I said, a common goal. If it's not a common goal, you're gonna waste your fucking time. And even I'll give you my personal example. Me and a friend of mine, we were best friends at the time, and we like fell apart, and she's trying to like rebuild our friendship with me, I guess. She has a North Node in the 11th house. I have a North Node in the 4th house. So she has a North Node of status. I have a North Node of community and home. Everything I do is about helping my community, the 4th house, helping my family, right? Everything she does is for status, notoriety, success, innovation, pushing the envelope forward. And it's not that I can't do that, but I'm not here for the notoriety of the world. I'm here for the notoriety of my family, for me, the black family, the black people. I'm here to help black people. I'm not here for the world. That's never going to be my job. I'm most likely, if not indefinitely, before I die, I'm going to become a Pan-Africanist. So, but that's my roots in home. Like me becoming initiated in, that's why I shaved my head, in voodoo, is me going back home. You know what I'm saying? So, or my roots in being Haitian. So, but again, roots is fourth house. So, because we are going in opposite directions, what's funny is that we often have to be very detached. And now in our friendship, as we go on our purpose and our paths, we have to say stuff like, if you need me, I'm a call away. But every time we try to build something together, it falls apart. Every time we, like me and her, try to come together, and this is the greatest example of the live. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube. Every time we come together to try to do something, it does not work. And I'll give you an example. And before I'll give you a philosophy. In Aries, my North Node, in Mars, she said there is a difference between you and I and us and we, or us and we, right? And she was referring my friend at the time about that because she's very you and I-ish. I'll never forget that. And every time we're together, it's when you're dealing with somebody who's in the opposite North Node as you, it's always gonna be you and I. It's never gonna be we. Don't get it fucked up. You're never gonna be you're never gonna be on one page, one accord. You're always gonna be like this. You and I. If you need me, I'm a phone call away. But because we are on two different paths, we are here, you and I, we are on two different paths. I cannot I'm gonna help you out, because next thing you know, I end up hitting you. Or you end up stop doing what you're doing and going here, right? So you can come help me. So you're stopping your path because you're helping me, or vice versa. So because we took two different paths, like for instance, I'm a virgin, I decided to, on purpose, even though my North Node's in sex, ironically, I decided to keep my strength, keep my power, focus on myself, fill my own cup, attract powerful people, and help myself. She went the opposite route. She went the route of status and she went the opposite route of having children, getting a boyfriend, all that other stuff. She did what everybody else is doing, right? No knocking her, but she did what everybody in my youth has done. They have children, they have a boyfriend, yada yada yada, and yada yada yada. And because we are in two different directions, again, it's all we can do is, if you ever need me, give me a call. That's not a bad thing, but she can't help me because we are here going in two different directions. So there's nothing she can do for me because life is teaching us two different roads. She is going she's going to be in situations of Saturn and Uranus. I'm going to be in situations of the moon or the third eye, right? She's going to be the root chakra. Now, in old astrology, the Aquarius is the crown chakra. Yeah, sorry, take that back. She's gonna be mostly in her crown chakra and her solar plexus chakra, and her root chakra. Those are the three placements she's gonna be in. But most likely, most of her time is going to be spent in working through her solar plexus, Sagittarius and Pisces, and crown chakra, Aquarius, right? I'm going to be third eye and sacral, right? So for me, because those are two different directions, there's nothing I can do to help her. Because I'm not here to reclaim status. I'm not here for that. I'm learning about how people sell their souls, they sacrifice. I gotta avoid that. And I even heard a Virgo say something so deep. She said, if you sell your soul, you may have to reincarnate. Because you gave your spiritual path up to the devil. I said, whoa. I don't need that. Because the Most High is not pleased with that. And she wasn't talking no religious shit. It was like on some, you gave your soul that came from the Most High to the devil. To the demons, to the lower frequencies. So because you gave your soul to the lower frequency, you gotta reincarnate to learn the lesson. And I ain't got time for that. For me, because I'm telling you from real life, because we are going in two different directions, there's literally, we almost can help each other almost 10%, and no cap, no bullshit. She is never in a financial position to help me, because my sun sign is in the house of her North Node, which is in Sagittarius. Mine's in the 9th house. And because I'm a life path 3, I help her more than she helps me. And because she's not spiritually mature yet, she doesn't understand that fully. My life helps her because my life is full of wisdom. I go for my life path 3-ness is for the sage, the old owl. Right? So yeah. I actually have to be careful of her because I don't know where she's going, what she's doing. Now, I know to some extent, but I don't know. You know? But like I said, those are the two rules I would abide by. Don't marry your North Node, and don't try your best to not even get in relationships with people who are going in the opposite direction than you North Node wise. And do your best not to get in any real relations with them, because sometimes that, or if not most times, I don't go nowhere either. Go to bit.ly/fullchart197 to book a reading. Text I paid to 910-808-9330. Subscribe below, and description in the caption.